So, I was bored. It's been a while since my last video, and I wasn't sure what to do exactly, but then it hit me. Minecraft videos. But I wasn't just gonna play Minecraft. No. I had to make it interesting. I was gonna play Minecraft in VR for a long time, like a really long time, like a really long 24 hours. I was gonna play it for 24 hours. Would I beat the Ender Dragon? Maybe. Would I throw up? Probably. Who knows? Let's find out. I started by just taking in how weird it was to actually be in Minecraft. I ran around jumping and petting dogs before destroying the nearby forest. It was really funny because when looking up and breaking the tree blocks, my eyes kept feeling like something was actually falling in them. After struggling with the crafting system, I'm a Bedrock player, please don't make fun of me. I made some tools and felt like the biggest badass possible in a game meant for kids, and I murdered some wildlife. But karma was coming to get me, because as soon as the sun set, this is absolutely the most scared anyone's ever been playing Minecraft. There were skeletons behind every tree. I quickly made a boat and retreated to the ocean. I found a cool cliff I wanted to maybe set up camp on, but there were still monsters everywhere, so I decided to just wait it out until morning. As the sun came up, I made my way to the island and started climbing the cliff. I was so sure that this was going to be like the best base idea, and then I remembered I was playing in VR. It was very scary up there. I ran around and debated for a little bit, but then I found the first flaw of being so high, and I was forced to jump. Though perhaps I should have stayed up there because the ground was even more dangerous, especially when I was more than 2 feet in the air. Tired of getting beat up, I found a nice tall tree, and I just took a minute to regroup. And then I decided it was time for some real tools. I set out for a good place to settle down, and I found this half-built nether portal. I don't know what they're called, and this very unrealistically friendly polar bear. It was once again nighttime, and having learned my lesson, I decided to wait where it was safe. I took a quick nap, ate a snack in the game and in real life, and continued on. I terrorized the nearby village and stole all their crops, leaving them surely to starve, but I needed the potatoes for an XP farm. Don't forget about this XP farm, okay? Just don't forget about it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just don't. I found yet another nether portal, and let me tell you, it ain't the last. I found a strange amount of these portals and villages, way more than I've ever found playing before. I found this weird area of wooden planks, which I assume is supposed to be a ship or something. I don't know. It didn't have anything interesting, so I just left. After finding another village, I decided it was time to do some mining. So I stole a man's house to set up base and went to the mine, where I got not much actually. I got some iron and a lot of coal, but I kept hearing these really scary, spooky noises. I thought maybe they had something to do with like the new warden thing or whatever, but following the sounds didn't really do anything. It was very scary though. I did, to my surprise, end up finding some diamonds though. And let me tell you, appreciate these diamonds because it's about like half of the total diamonds I get this playthrough. I kept digging until I got to this cave, and I decided to not push my luck, so I made it back to the house. I got enough iron to make some armor, tools, and a shield, and then I went out for some more exploring. I don't really know what I was looking for, nor why I kept just venturing off places, but I was glad I did because I found him. This beautiful, currently unnamed horse. I've never really cared about horses before in Minecraft, but since you walk so slow in VR, I figured it was a really good way to get around quickly. I couldn't be happier. Actually, I was pretty unhappy. See, never using horses before definitely showed because I could not figure out how to tame this horse. So I tried making a square around him to keep him from going too far, but he refused to cooperate. I spent like 30 minutes doing this. So I quickly ran back to the house to get some food because I thought maybe I had to feed him first. And it seemed to work, but I forgot my saddle, so I had to walk back again and then come back with the saddle. Finally, he was mine though, and I was ready to just run in a direction and see where I ended up. I grabbed my stuff and left. Too bad horses fucking suck. I kept coming across big patches of water, which would do nothing but have me slowly sink until I was kicked off the horse. I got so tired of this, I just left them behind and continued on foot. I found yet another nether portal and another village. This one though was next to a nice open area, and I decided it was finally time to make a permanent base. I'm not really good at building. My girlfriend usually does it, but I decided to actually try this time. How'd I do? After that, I went and grabbed the obsidian from that nether portal because I wanted to check out the nether, which was a terrible mistake. It was way too scary. So I came back and started making a potato farm instead. I needed as many as possible for my XP farm. At this point, my feet were, they were killing me. Yeah, they hurt pretty bad. So I sat down. I laid down. I laid in bed for a little, actually. After my rest, I grabbed some cows to start farming for some food and some leather, and I started mining under my house, where I found a giant cave. And in the cave, I found a hidden mine shaft. There wasn't really anything in it, though, so I came back and went and found some sugarcane to start farming that, too. I somehow lost all of my coal, so I went and searched for trees, which I figured I could also use to fix my house. So I came back, but I had a really cool idea for, like, a furnace wall in the basement, so I started mining that out and tending my farms when I started feeling really sick, and I had to sit. This is about the start of me trying to sit every second I could, but I couldn't sit that much. See, when I would sit, it would put me in like a crawl position, like I was swimming or something, but I couldn't interact with almost anything in that. I couldn't open chests or use the crafting table or anything, so I could only sit in very limited times. I couldn't really sit while playing. So anyways, I finished the basement and the house, mostly, and went to sleep. After waking up, I was mostly just trying to get my farms going, so after chopping the potatoes and feeding the cows, I decided to just check out the area. So I walked through the weird ice sculpture biome thing, and I bullied a nearby village, which was a mistake because I barely made it back alive. I made my first bookcase for the enchanting table, but I still couldn't get any good ones, and I totally did it wrong, but I fixed it later. I realized I could peek through the door to check for threats. That didn't help too much though. Another one tried to get me before I even got my armor back on. After fixing my house, I decided to give myself a floor instead of just dirt. I'm not very good at decorating, but I was still pretty okay with it. I went to do some more mining because I really wanted diamond armor, and I came up with a genius idea. If I sat, I could rest my feet and only mine one block at a time. I know this is like a strategy that people use with water buckets and stuff, but I didn't know what level I was on, so I don't actually know how helpful it was, but it was very helpful to my feet. And I ended up finding diamonds, so let me tell you though, coming back from the tunnel I made is one of the scariest moments of my life. This is something I haven't mentioned yet, but for some reason the game didn't like playing music. I heard like maybe 4 songs while playing this game. So I was just crawling through a dark tunnel in complete silence, except the occasional spooky, scary cave sounds. It was basically a horror game at this point. Apparently, I wasn't the only one that was scared, because my computer messed up, and I just lost like the next hour of footage. But don't worry, not much happened, except I started tearing up the beautiful floor I made, because I ran out of wood, and I got a pet llama named Spiegel. This is Spiegel. I was feeling like my base was kind of empty, so I wanted to try to make a cool pond tree thing. It was one of the few things I could do while sitting, so I went for it. Then I remembered that I'm literally useless at this game and decided to just bury myself in dirt. I was really starting to regret doing this at this point. I just had to hold out a little longer though, and then it would be my government mandated nap time. I crawled out of my hole and finished the project that I was actually kind of proud of, and then went exploring again. I found this cute little cave hidden by the water and decided to just relax, mostly just sit by the fire and eat some food. When morning came, I found a horse and I realized I could probably move around at normal speed if I was on a horse. I still couldn't figure out how to tame it though. I fed it so much until finally it let me on. It felt kind of random, but I eventually tamed it and rode it back inside. I never gave this horse a fancy home or a name either. I feel kind of bad thinking about it now. Oh well. I finally had enough potatoes for my XP farm. I started building it and feeding it through, and yeah, I'll just cut to the chase here. I guess they patched it out because it wasn't working at all. I was really upset, but not too much because I had worked up plenty of XP. That was about to change though. See, I was on my way to the village because I knew there was a chest that had a bunch of apples in it. I really wanted to start making golden ones, but on my way I was stopped by these unruly gentlemen who wanted nothing but violence, so I gave them what they wanted. Then I made my way to the town. Now, if you've played Minecraft before, you might know what's about to happen, but I sure didn't. As I pulled up to the town, a raid started. I was very unready for this. I felt confident that I could take on the horde until this guy completely obliterated me. This started an entire night of me running back to get my stuff and immediately dying to whatever this is. I tried fighting it from inside the house, but he apparently doesn't care about the rules. I eventually grabbed my stuff and made a run for it. He kept chasing me, but I made it inside, and it seems like he left me alone. Now it was finally a time to go to sleep, like in real life. So I boarded myself in so it would be as dark as possible. I tried to get footage of me sleeping all night, but the darkness of the room made it impossible to see and also glitched out the game for some reason, so I didn't really get good footage of that either. After waking up, I felt like a man who had just slept in VR. I felt real bad. Don't get me wrong, I was feeling pretty sick and not great most of the last half, but this was way worse. I decided I wasn't even trying to get out of bed. So I managed to adjust my height so the difference between standing and crouching was how high my chin was. I finally finished my enchanting table area, by the way, though I didn't have any XP to use for it. I was feeling really sick and I just wanted to be out, but I still had some hours to go. So I got on my horse and I just ran in a direction. I was hoping to find something cool and kill some time. Instead it was just a waste of time because I ended up going for a whole day and finding nothing. I was waiting to go into the nether for like the fun last thing to do. So I decided to go mining for hopefully more diamonds and maybe some experience if I was lucky. Spoiler alert, this was the worst idea I have had the whole playthrough. I started mining, but forgot torches, so I figured I'd just use a bucket of lava for a light source. But when I was done mining, I was chased out of the mines and trying to rush back up to the cave entrance, but I knew my health was too low and I didn't have enough time. So I tried to barricade myself in to at least keep me safe, or at least keep my stuff safe. I did the exact opposite of keeping my stuff safe. In reality, I should have just picked it back up with the bucket, but I panicked. All my stuff was gone. I took a minute to be sick and just sad, gathered the few things I had left, and I just embarked on my last journey. I accidentally placed obsidian in the middle of my house. I couldn't break it. I feel like you used to be able to break it after a while. It wasn't breaking. I spent like 20 minutes on this. But I decided, even though I've been beat up and burned this entire playthrough, I was going to get a blaze rod. That was my mission. I was going to get a blaze rod and I was going to get out, baby. Everything I said before was a lie. This was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in a video game. There was danger literally everywhere. I am so glad that I've been saving up arrows because they were taking out wither skeletons with like 2 shots. I couldn't believe it. I found some blaze, but all of the ones I kept killing weren't dropping rods. Finally, I found the spawner. I chowed down on my enchanted apple. When did I find that? When did I get an enchanted apple? I'm just realizing I don't remember where I got that from. Anyways, I ate the apple and I ran in and I got one. I got a blaze rod. Not only did I get a blaze rod, I got 2. I felt so accomplished, but not complete. I was greedy. I wanted to keep going. I wanted that nether wart stuff. I ran even deeper into the fortress, but I was out of arrows. I thought that'd be fine, but it wasn't. Determined to not lose my everything, I charged right in, full of determination and ready for war. Oh my god. Sir. No, fuck. Stay away from me. Jesus.